Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to GMIT. I'm Tony O'Kelly, Manager of New Frontiers. Just before we start the event today, I'm just going to remind everybody to move your phones to silent. To open the New Frontiers Internet of Things Summit, we have the President of GMIT, Dr. Fergal Barry.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning, everyone. As some of my colleagues and friends will know, I have a fascination with the etymology of words. A thing with words, you might say, or a love for all things linguistic. So rather than just saying the first thing that came into my head, I thought I might try and establish if we're on to a good thing here. The word thing, or ding, D-I-N-G, is from the Old English and of Germanic origins. Early senses of the word included a meeting. So you're all very welcome to this Internet of Things Summit, or Thing About Things, at the Galway Mayo Institute of Technology. I'd like to thank my colleagues in our incubation centre, in particularly Tony O'Kelly, and my colleagues in Enterprise Ireland for making a big thing of it. Indeed, I'd like to acknowledge their ongoing financial support of the New Frontiers Entrepreneurship Development Programme, an investment of over €800,000 in the next 5 years. So to Declan Lyons, Declan, to Mark Whelan and all their team in Enterprise Ireland, thank you very much. I'd also like to welcome Barry Egan, the Regional Director of Enterprise Ireland, here this morning, and our colleagues from the IDA. I've seen Brendan MacDonald there earlier this morning as well. So the thing is, I believe we're on to a good thing at the New Frontiers programme and with this summit. The Internet of Things may just be a thing for you if you are time poor and like to spend more quality time with each other. Imagine we can now remotely connect with and control nearly everything and anything we cannot see or touch. Imagine all of these things talking to each other, including the things that go bump in the night. Things not talking to each other will be a thing of the past. Frost and Sullivan has projected that today there are 5 billion things on the Internet of Things, and that there will be 25 billion Internet of Things devices connected to one another by 2025. Today, you will hear things about how this thing will impact on the lives of every human being and business on and beyond this planet. It's going to be up to you to take advantage of and monetize this thing with current or new business models, whether you're integrators, pure product vendors, pure play vendors, or online or offline service providers. For example, connected car solutions are predicted to decrease car accidents by some 40%. Latin America, Africa, and Eastern Europe will be the fastest growing markets in this area, with Industry 4.0 facilitating these economies to bypass established industrialized nations through smart manufacturing of smart things. It is predicted that there will be 25 or more smart cities globally by 2025, each with billions of things sensing and helping to manage everything from healthcare to energy. And it's not just about tech. For me, and for my fellow educators, it will spawn many education demands and opportunities, and indeed we're looking at a new programme in the Internet of Things, or just a degree about things. For still others, it will involve looking at regulatory demands and security and privacy issues, such as in the media at the moment around Apple devices. For others still, it will involve looking at new funding models and so on. So it's about everything, all the possibilities and challenges that a new network spawns. And speaking of networks, nothing has yet surpassed the ability of humans to network. You may have well come prepared, and if things go to plan, our plan, you may be joining our New Frontiers programme at GMIT. Or today may be just one of those things where you met a new client, a new business partner, or a new funder. You know the way one thing leads to another. So the thing is to get the most out of today and pick up a thing or two. The only thing to do is put those things in your pocket on silent, and you can catch up on things later. Before I close, I want to thank a number of people in particular: Turlock Rafferty and Tony O'Kelly in our incubation centre, Karen Smith and Mona Wise from our marketing office, and Regina Daly, our press officer. Pat Heffernan and Elaine Levy here in audiovisual, who'll support us throughout the day, Donald McGinty and all in our IT support. Sean Fahey, Karina Gavin and Caroline Walsh from Buildings and Estates, Harold O'Toole and all our stewards, caretakers and cleaners, Joe Doyne from our food, Damien Costello in the IT department and his student volunteers. Two students in particular, Eva Perez and Kieran Carrick, both volunteers, have worked with Kieran Flynn of Clear Bookings, who facilitated your registration today. John Malcolm, one of our third-year Bachelor of Science and Computing students in software development, lovingly crafted the website, designed a newspaper advert, and looked after the overall branding for the event. Nothing happens without money, so I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors, KPMG and AIB Bank, and of course New Frontiers and Enterprise Ireland. Our media sponsors today are To Market, Inc 60 and Noisy Generation XYZ and the Irish Tech News. Finally, all of the staff in the iHubs, Trish Carrick, Christine Ford, Anne-Marie Cahill and Maria Staunton here from the iHubs today in Castlebar, Turlock Rafferty and Tony Kelly, I mentioned them earlier on, and of course their inimitable leader, George, of course, down here in the front. Thank you very much, George. One final introduction today is to introduce you to Dr. Rick Officer. I'd like Rick, if you could stand up very quickly there, here in the front. Rick Officer is our new Vice President at GMIT for Research and Innovation, and will be leading the charge on the engagement of this institution with the business community in Galway and the west of Ireland, and indeed in Mayo. Enjoy your day. Thank you very much.
So before we launch into the Internet of Things, a brief video introduction to New Frontiers.
National Entrepreneur Development Program for Innovative Early Stage Startups. Based in 14 campus incubation centres around the country, it supports 150 startups per year from all sectors and offers €15,000 in financial support to new business ventures. For those with an innovative business idea who are planning to establish and run their own company, New Frontiers can provide a package of supports. These will act as a vital tool in the business development process, equipping entrepreneurs with the skills and contacts they need to grow their ideas into internationally trading businesses. Lorraine Scroop founded Whiskey Recruitment and joined the program with her co-founder in 2012. Whiskey solves recruitment issues with their enterprise hiring management system that ensures companies only engage with candidates that fit the bill.
You were certainly challenged in maybe your thought process or your, financial modelling, or, they'd nearly always zone in on some part that you didn't want them to, and you'd get challenged on that. You certainly had to stand up and justify what you were doing, which is, of course, what you have to do every day in business when you go out there and you're talking to customers. It wasn't just theory-based, it was very much, stuff that you could apply then to your everyday business.
Emma Jane Power runs PR Slides, the first Irish company to set up an online image library for fashion and interior design brands, which can be instantly accessed and downloaded by journalists.
New Frontiers helped fill in a lot of gaps in my business knowledge, especially in areas regarding sales and funding. We have just raised over €500,000 in funding between private investment and venture capital funding, which has allowed us to really grow the team this year.
Bill Tullier created Category Cubed, which offers promotion optimization and category analysis solutions to sales managers, key account managers, and chief financial officers.
I found the New Frontiers program to be a program for business people. It's not like being back in college. It's a hard-nosed business program where you're constantly challenged and where you set goals and objectives. You can really get a huge advantage within, what is a very tight time frame of only 6 months.
Jim Costigan runs SMP Products, providing manufacturing ceiling, maintenance and restoration products for the architectural, construction, tiling and hard flooring industries.
My goal was always to set up my own company, but when you're in kind of a nice cushy environment and there's a downturn in the economy, it takes a big push to get you over the edge. It's like when you set up a business, you're afraid of so many things, but there's a little bit of comfort when you see there's a lot of other people in the same position and there's people out there to help you.
So, if you have an innovative business idea you believe in, paired with the persistence to back it, New Frontiers can offer you local support in getting your venture off the ground and help you to go global. Find out more at enterpriseireland.com/newfrontiers.
So that's the advert. So New Frontiers is open. Everybody's got a brochure in your information pack. So there's information on that. Also, our webpage is gmit.ie/newfrontiers, and there's lots of profiling of companies, of the 46 business startups that have been generated through this process over the last 4 years. In addition, we have an open session in the Galway Innovation Hub next Tuesday evening, March 1st at 6:15, and in Castlebar Innovation Hub on Thursday, March 3rd at 6:15. So, on with the show. Our MC today has his own popular radio show. It's the Today FM Sunday Business Show, and he is Conal O'Moran.
Good morning, and thank you for having me back. I didn't think you would after the last time. There are no whingers in the room, are there? Because we don't do whinging when you're in enterprise, and it's gorgeous. It's lovely to. One of the stock things I say at events like this is that I love the smell of entrepreneur in the morning. There's such a buzz, there really is. I've already been around talking to the ones that identified themselves who were up for the competition, who were trying to pitch at me. Wrong people, they're down there. And I've already been given some of the products, so I've already been bought. I live the dream or the nightmare, just like you guys. My partner, my live-in partner rather than my business partner, is going through the exact same stuff as you guys. Funded, almost sales, the whole lot. So I understand, I share your pain. And I just think anybody who goes off on this road, one, I admire, two, you're brilliant, three, I hope to God that you're massively successful. My job this morning is literally to bounce things along. We will be going through the competition, which is really the highlight of the event, but I'm just looking through some of the numbers. Once upon a time, I've been doing this kind of thing for many years, and we used to talk in the millions, we went to the billions, and now we're talking about the trillions. Sigfox will be talking to you later on about just their area going into a $50 trillion. There's so many zeros in that it just befuddles me, I think. There's one other thing that Tony O'Kelly wasn't mentioned there on your video. One thing that I've learned on the Sunday Business Show, my ad, when you are setting up in business, and it's getting, particularly in Dublin, and I know it's going to be the same in Galway, is trying to find location now. You may see in this morning's Irish Times that finding office accommodation in Dublin is now back to 2008 levels. Great news for Dublin. For those of you who do not believe that the recovery is happening, yes it is, but it will be centred in centres, then it spreads out. That is the way. It's just the way. You can't magic it. When you are trying to set up an office or a business here in Galway or in the West, there are two clever ways that I've found of making it economic, let's put it that way. If you're based in your house, if you're based up in your loft, don't say number 30 the Elms or whatever. Call it Unit 30 the Elms, and that always looks much better. And the second thing is try to locate yourself onto a campus like this, because it gives you an unbelievable credibility. Because if you are, first thing, if whenever, and I do so much of this myself, when I'm trying to check out a business, any business, I always go onto the website. And now, thank you, Google, I go and check whether or what the business looks like on the outside. And if it's a ratty old building, I know you're not real. If I came and I saw GMIT, I'd say, okay, they're serious. And so that's a little tip. Now, obviously, you have to talk to Tony about getting in here. It's not that you can just park the car outside. My final just little tip is, on the program, and we do 52 programs a year, we never shut down, we're just like a business. So often, we do 2 to 3 startups every week, which reminds me, a little reminder to you guys, I've already done a little bit of networking, as I mentioned. if people want to be on the program, if you have an item or a product or a service that you think that would appeal to our listeners, we're always looking for new ideas, new startups in particular. We love them. We get a huge reaction. Just talk to me afterwards. I promise Tony that I will be here way after time later on. And I do use this as my own kind of fishing expedition. I was going to mention Enterprise Ireland. Now, the numbers of people who come on, so we normally get to maybe 2 to 3 startups per program, 52 times a year. That's 150 odd people. Each and every one of them will say, Leo great, Enterprise Ireland brilliant. Public sector gets a lot of bashing. Enterprise Ireland stands proud to say they do what they say on the tin. They are tremendous. And anybody who knocks them, I'm telling you, they're wrong because the other people are right. They're the people that they have supported. So I say, well done, Enterprise Ireland, and go direct. Well, once you're over 10 people, go directly to them. That's my little spiel for the while. There's a lot of other things that go on in my head. But my next job is to ask Ronan Furlong, Managing Director of DCU Alpha, to the stage. He's going to talk to you about the IoT landscape, trends and business models.